We have our own research department as well, and they made an analysis. If you take the four biggest cities in Norway, in Denmark, in Sweden, and in Finland, 25% of the population of that country lives in these four cities. If you take the UK, you're talking 17% in the four biggest cities of the UK. If you take France, I think it's 7%, and Germany it's 9%. This just goes to show how important these cities are for the country. It's very important to understand, because I know a lot of investors go in and they say, ooh, that's not a really big city compared to Munich, for example. Well, you need to look at the importance of that city for this country also, in terms of where do you go and place where do you want to live, where's the universities and all these things. And it's just important to understand that yes, we are only 25 million in all of the Nordics, but of those 25 million, 25% lives actually in the biggest cities of the region.
And as I understand it, that's also growing.
That's growing quite heavily.
Urbanisation is a
yes.
One more comment on the infrastructure in Stockholm. There are a lot of interesting infrastructure projects going on. For example, we are extending the Crossrail to reach a larger part of the suburbs, and there is a big project called the Stockholm Bypass, which means that you're going to lead the main car traffic to not go through the city. If you have a really long time perspective, one of the most interesting discussions now is the fast train to go from Stockholm to Malmö in now how long is it? I'm looking at my other Nordic colleagues here, but it will open up for like a handful of cities along this way to become much more interesting for investments, since they will be much closer in time.
I think that's a really good point, because if you look at how, say for example, the bridge from Copenhagen coming over to Sweden has changed the dynamics of what's going on in terms of the growth of, I mean, there's many more people now that are actually living in Sweden that are commuting to work in Denmark because of the bridge, and that's had a huge impact on Malmö.
And whenever this fast train will open up, then it opens up for people to actually live in other towns and commute to Stockholm, like daily commuting, which will create very different dynamics.